just spent the last year romanticizing and trying to live in attunement as much as I can with the seasonal shiftings of the world around me. And it has had such a profound impact on me and how I see and engage with the natural world and the undulation that is life. I think we forget a lot of the time that we are born out of nature, not into it. And so we're not separate from it. We don't live outside of its cycles and rhythms. And just as the moon has its cycles, and just as the winter rain feeds the blooming of spring, those same cycles of birth, life, decay, and death that exists in the macrocosm also resides within the microcosm of us. I've been curious about learning more about my hormonal cycles as a woman who menstruates. And so for this last month, I have been cycle tracking. And this is a little video diary of the last 26 days that have passed. For the last couple of months, I have been bleeding on a full moon, which has been a really electric and magnifying experience. The full moon is a time of deep illumination. It is a time to really take account, to use that extra gravitational pull to draw you a little bit closer in towards yourself and to really take account on what is serving you and what needs to be released, what needs to be surrendered before moving forward in your cycle. And I find that having this energy of the full moon when I'm bleeding is just so beautiful at kind of creating this container for me to really dive within. Good morning. I am on the first day of my cycle, and I always really love it when the elements align and it ends up being like a stormy, rainy, cozy day. I've just spent the good part of like the first few hours of this day just laying in bed, reading a book about periods. I'm reading just about like the winter season of my cycle that I'm in. And I've just made myself a second cup of raspberry leaf tea with rose. And just trying to hydrate. I'm going to make some breakfast because I'm super hungry this morning. I'm going to make just some wilted kale with some eggs on toast and some avocado as well, and just nourish myself. Good morning. It is the next day. I literally spent all day yesterday just kind of cozied on the couch watching Ever After, drinking some raspberry leaf tea, and in the afternoon I went into town. I had an appointment with my osteopath because my neck has been just like killing me the past couple of months. So I just kind of went and got my back tended to. And this morning I have made myself some porridge and I sprinkled on top lots of pumpkin seeds and some sesame seeds. In the porridge itself, I put some ginger powder and some cinnamon and some honey. And it's like my favorite thing of all time. I love the taste of ginger. I've been reading this book recently as well, and it's been so wonderful to kind of read alongside the season of my cycle that I'm in and to lean into what my body is asking for during this time, really taking notice of how I am like emotionally, mentally, physically throughout the course of my cycle and tracking it just to kind of see what patterns arise. I find it really interesting that it can become really specific and detailed, like which days become really challenging for you. So I'm currently in my winter season, kind of tuning into like the heightened sense of intuition that I have at the moment. I always feel like super permeable on my period, like really attuned and sensitive, and just that permeability, I feel like really heavily in these first couple of days. So just kind of using that to like attune into my intuition on even a deeper level, and to use it to help like guide and edit what I have currently built in like my spring, summer, and autumn months, and to just like get really specific about a few things that I have planned and dreaming up, and just able to use this intuition that I have during this time to make decisions about certain things. So that's where I'm at today. Maybe we'll be able to go out for some nature time today. It always feels so nice to just like connect in with the element of earth. I'm going to eat this delicious, warm, comforting bowl of porridge, and candles, and I have one of my favorite playlists ever to listen to. This one here, don't know if you can see it, it's called Music for Psychedelic Therapy. I feel like I enter into a different dimension when I listen to it. I am going to do a yin yoga for spine and upper body. Made some cacao with some cinnamon and nutmeg. And it smells so yummy, so I'm just going to have a really restorative evening. Maybe do a little bit of a breathwork practice as well. Just have a cozy little self-care evening.
Anything that's soft that you can create as a very neutral.
Lay down. You're a little cutie. You want kisses? Good morning, everyone. I just made myself some porridge and did my morning practice. Really just enjoying the freedom and exploration of movement, and just like, I don't know, bringing a sense of real playfulness into my asana practice. I just like have been really enjoying like the fun of moving my body, and a lot of that has meant like coming back to my inversion and handstand practice, and like just like, you know, playful movement and exploring different modalities, which feels very fitting because I'm in my season of spring and my cycle. I have just made myself some porridge, and I don't have like all of the seeds to try seed cycling, but I ground up a bit of sunflower seeds and have put them in there. If anyone's tried seed cycling before and had good experience with it, or even if you didn't have a good experience with it, I would really love to hear about your experience if you have tried it, because I'm thinking of giving it a go to just like see what it feels like in my body, because I've been really enjoying kind of moving in flow with like my cycle and like the different seasons of my cycle. I'm feeling very like energized at the moment and very explorative, and just trying to kind of not limit myself to like that exploration, and just allow myself to explore different movement modalities, to just be writing down lots of ideas for what I would like to do in the next couple of months. I'm going to eat my porridge before it gets cold and do a little bit of journaling. around like my birthday, November last year, I bought myself a present and I bought myself a new surfboard, and she was literally the most beautiful thing in the world. She just takes my breath away every time I look at her. My beautiful little banana boat. That surf was so dreamy and delicious, and I just feel that type of tired that you only really feel after coming back from surfing for quite a few hours. It's probably the longest I've been out in a very long time as well. I think we were out there for maybe like 3 hours or something like that, maybe even 4 hours, but it was so much fun. The waves were pretty small, but I feel like it's really good to go out on the really small days at the moment, since I haven't been surfing for quite a long time. I'm so glad that I spent the money and bought myself that board last year. It was the best money I ever spent because I just have such a good time on that board. I got back and had a nice cup of chai, made some chai after the surf just to re-warm up. I just had a shower, washed my hair, and got into my comfies. And I am gonna put on Ice Age and watch Ice Age just because I feel like I'm really in the mood to watch some like wintry movies, and I particularly really love watching animation in winter. And while I watch, I'm gonna plan my yoga and breathwork class for tomorrow. Just feeling so content and really nice and sleepy. I feel like I'm gonna sleep really well tonight. Welcome to summer. We are in our summer season. If you are interested at all at like cycle tracking and you don't have like an app, I actually really love this one. It's called Stardust, and at the moment it's telling me that I'm like in my peak summer phase. Like I am in my ovulation stage. And I love this app so much because it really syncs you into like the moon cycles as well. This isn't sponsored at all. I also use Clue. Clue's really good. I use it to track. I feel like it's got a lot more options for tracking like your moods and just like how you're feeling and like what you're doing and stuff. And you can do that here as well. But this one mostly I just like because like the interface is just like so fun and colorful, and like it syncs with the moon, which is really nice as well. I didn't even really realize, but I am in my summer season. Spring felt really nice. I feel like in spring I had like lots of ideas buzzing around, and now in summer I feel like this is my time to take action. Like I feel very actionable. Like today I'm editing and getting a lot of editing stuff done. I've also done like lots of posts about work coaching. I'm taking on more breathwork coaching clients and yoga one-on-one clients. So in the last couple of days, I've been very like taking action on all of the things that I was dreaming about and kind of editing during my winter season and spring season. And now it's like action time, it's go time. I've got the energy. I also find it very interesting how much my perception of like my appearance changes through my cycle. Like before and during my period, I like can barely look in a mirror because there's just like so much self-loathing that can come up during that time. And like I'm way better with it. Like, you know, I haven't talked about this much on here, but you know, just like trigger warning, I suffered with an eating disorder when I was really, really young and up until like my mid-20s. And so like body dysmorphia has always been quite like something that I've had to like really work through. And it's just so fascinating to me that during autumn and winter, you're just so much more susceptible to those thoughts, like that self-critical thinking just always comes up in your autumn season and in your winter season. And then in summer, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, damn, like I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and I'm like, she looks good. Like I feel like I look good. Just the confidence boost of like estrogen and testosterone and all your hormones, you know, just doing their thing is just really fascinating. And so It's just, I don't know, there's something about it that makes me feel a little bit more at ease as well, because, you know, in autumn and winter, when I start to get really self-critical, I just like remind myself, like, you're in your winter and your autumn season. Like, you're just going to be naturally a little bit more self-critical. So just bear that in mind. Be kind on yourself, because when summer comes, you're going to be like, I look hot. And something that in the book that I'm reading has been a good reminder is like, during your spring and summer, if like that inner critic starts to get really harsh with you and starts like berating you and trying to put down your ideas or whatever, just be like, I'm sorry, I'll see you in autumn and winter, because that's where you're gonna be no matter what I do. But at the moment, I'm in spring and summer, so you can back off and just let me create and let me flow and let me, you know, take action. I'll see you in autumn. I feel like even just like in the scope of this vlog, I'm actually editing lots of pieces together, and it's interesting to see like my subtle personality shifts as well, or just like how I engage. Like I feel way more chatty right now in my summer, but like the pacing of how I talk is like drastically different. Like I feel like I'm talking way faster. I have like a lot more clarity around my thoughts, whereas like editing stuff that I was filming during winter, I'm so slow in talking, and like lots of like pauses of like it's just so interesting to be like looking at my cycle in this like video format and like feeling into it as well. Just interesting things. Anyways, I am going to get back to work because we're on a roll. We've got the energy and the support from all of my hormones to, you know, take me through to the finish line on a lot of these things. And really also just feeling a lot of desire to do more strength training, like just more difficult yoga practices, and just challenging myself a little bit more when it comes to like physical exertion. That's the summer update, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. God, I feel like I look good. I just like have so much self-confidence right now. It's crazy. Look at the time.
And last one, really switch those legs.
There was such a beautiful lightness to my summer season. I hung out with a lot of friends, I did a lot of socializing, I felt my energy just really playing and exploring. This was a time where I felt really super creative, and I was able to take action in a lot of the things that I wanted to do. I was riding on the dreams that I had kind of established for myself in my spring, and was acting to bring them into fruition. This time felt really hopeful, and I truly felt like I could just take on the whole world. It was kind of incredible to really acknowledge how invincible I almost felt during this time, and how possible everything felt. I felt like all of my dreams were just at the very edges of my fingertips, and all it took was for me to click them together and magic would appear. Do a hand for scale. Big boy. Whoa! I'm currently in the tail end of my summer season. I am preparing myself to enter into autumn, which can be the trickiest time in our menstrual cycles. So when you're entering into your autumn and winter season, you don't really want to be making like big moves, big decisions. Like this is the time that you're starting to naturally start to turn a little bit more inwards. And so I am right now currently filming a bunch of videos so that I can edit these when I'm in my autumn and winter season. So I'm using the energy and the inspiration, the motivation that I have in my summertime to just kind of get some stuff together so that in winter I can feel a little bit more at ease, taking myself a little bit more internal, taking myself out of the world a little bit and just kind of editing a few things. So at the moment, I'm kind of trying to tie up some loose ends and to give myself some material to work with for my autumn and winter. So yeah, that's currently where I'm at. I definitely feel like I'm on the last days of summer based on the fact that I am starting to feel a little bit more self-critical and a little bit less motivated to go out and be social. I feel like I've been really good actually the last week. I've been really social, been able to spend lots of time with friends. We had Matariki weekend this weekend, so spent a lot of time in community and with people, teaching lots, hanging out with friends, catching up with people. So I feel really content now as I start to just naturally feel myself starting to draw back a little bit energetically from all of the more summery social elements of my cycle. I'm just gonna film another video while I've got the sun out, and I'll see you probably when I'm in autumn.
I could sit around and wait all day. You lay easy on my mind. Like a candle I just burn away. All we really have is time. All we really have is time. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you. What was it they used to say? Seeking you will find. There is nothing in you that is fading.
Hello, my love. I just made myself a raspberry leaf tea. I've been drinking this for the last couple of days because I heard it helps with menstrual cramps, and your girl needs all the help she can get. I am just finishing up editing this video. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting my period either tonight or tomorrow morning. So being the last day of my cycle, I am just finishing up a couple of things that I want to bring to completion so that I can really drop into the ease and rest of my winter. I'm also actually really looking forward to getting my period, even though I know that that first day is always, know, I always feel really crampy and really tired. There's also a real nice release that comes with it as well. It's almost like I just feel like the pressure just getting released a little bit. The last couple of days of autumn, I always just feel like a really full water balloon. And so when I get my period, it's like finally a little bit of the pressure gets released and things just start to like ease down from there. I've really enjoyed cycle tracking. Moving forward, it'll be really interesting to see if those days that I pinpointed as being my more difficult days are really consistent, which will be helpful because then I can be like, oh, day 21's coming up. We all know what to expect on day 21. If you've never tried cycle tracking, I really highly recommend it. It's been really beneficial and really informative. I feel like I really like made the most of like what my body was asking for at each kind of step, and I don't know, it just made me feel like I was like moving in real flow and harmony with myself and also with the natural world around me. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm, and the seasons that we experience, summer, autumn, winter, spring, in our natural world, they reside within each of us. Even down to like our very cells. Our breath even is like another microcosm of the macrocosm. Your inhale, your pause, your exhale, and your pause, like that again is like that same like seasonal shift of like summer, autumn, winter, spring showing up. Our entire world is like made up of all of these like circular rhythms just like this, and we're no different. And I think it's really interesting and beautiful and profound to explore what that rhythm is within you, and I think we can get a lot of information from that, and that information and that living in the circular structure of you connects you with the world around you, because you're like moving not just with the seasons of what's going on around you, but your internal seasons as well. Anyways, this video is already way too long and I'm already rambling more than I should be at the end of this, but I just wanted to sign off this video because last day of my cycle, I'm really wanting to kind of tie up all of these little projects that I've been working on through this season. I'm gonna finish editing this video and get it live for you guys. I've got a bunch more videos that I filmed through the spring and summer months. So I'm gonna be way more regular. I know I've been a little bit AWOL the last couple of months on here, but I feel like I'm getting back into the rhythm of everything now. If you stayed to the end of this video, my God, props to you, because like it's not a short video and I appreciate you being here and spending time with me. It really means so much. And if you're new here and you liked this video and you want to see more like this, please subscribe. I'd love to have you in this space. I'm gonna take some magnesium and drink my raspberry leaf tea and get ready for the cycle to start all over again. Good night.